Hi, it's Natasha from Macawanes. I'm going to chat to Brent, the owner of Organic Feasts here in East Maitland. We all need to provide nourishment to ourselves as the earth provides it to us, and figure out what this means for our body. This interview is a call to digest life with all its wholesome charm, freshness and beauty. Thanks for joining me today, Brent.
It's a pleasure.
So tell me, how long have you been here in East Maitland for?
Organic Feast has been in East Maitland for, I would say, 16 years. And we've been in this site now for 11 years.
Oh wow, that's awesome, isn't it? Whenever I'm travelling, I'm always looking for organic shops, and honestly, from Sydney to Newcastle, I don't see any other shop this size, so we're pretty fortunate to have everything here in East Maitland.
You know, many people are amazed at the size and the range and the quality of the produce, but what it shows is that there's a pretty strong community of people who are concerned about the quality of their food, the chemicals in their food.
It's a real treat to be here today because I'm looking at all your products as I walk around. I mean, everything that's in this store is organic, so it's quite amazing. I mean, I love the watermelon, but tell me, what is some of your favourite things in the store?
Oh, that's a very good question, and that is probably very hard to answer. The thing I love mostly about the store is the seasonality.
Yeah.
And the flavour of produce when it is in season,
yes.
And the fact that you can only get it when it's in season, and the fact that organic produce just tastes so much better, and fruit and veggies are a pleasure to eat,
yes,
as opposed to a chore.
And I think, as we go into our golden times, you become much more conscious of it, don't you? When you were sort of younger, you weren't sort of paying attention to it, but certainly it's at the forefront of the media now, with everything coming through with health and well-being and lifestyle. So I just think it's such a real honour to have such a fine, store in East Maitland, such as here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, look, if I was to consider, just picturing the client base over the 21 years, back at the beginning when there was just myself in the store, and we had primarily, I suppose, early adopters, people who are aware, conscious, of their foods and lifestyles, well ahead of their time. Yeah. And organic food probably only represented 0.1% of the total food market. Over those 21 years, I've seen our customer base change to the fact, we went through a period there, I suppose, where there was a lot of young families coming in. And they might be buying food for the child, but saying it's too late for me. Yes. I'm going to give my kid the best food I can. To now where we're seeing, I guess they're called millennials, and they're looking after themselves. Yeah, and so it's just so great to see all that awareness filtering through the generations.
Yes, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about why we would opt for organic food.
Yeah, there's a number of reasons. I mean, number one, we're an certified organic store, and that's quite rare. There aren't many stores in Australia that I'm aware of that are certified organic. And what that does is it gives you integrity from paddock to plate. The whole chain is certified, and it means that there's truth in our labelling. So, for example, we'll have the certifying body in the state of origin. But of course, in terms of eating organic food, and I've mentioned flavour earlier, but there are something like 7,500 chemicals registered for use in agriculture in Australia. And the myth is that each one of those chemicals has been rigorously tested for any detrimental health effects. And the fact is they haven't been. I think people are becoming more and more aware, and testing is becoming much more sensitive as well, where they're understanding that even at very, very low levels of residue, it can have an effect on the endocrine system in very, very subtle ways that previously weren't measurable. So it's great to avoid all of that, and organic produce is a wonderful way of avoiding that. But even better than that is because of the way that these guys farm, because they're maintaining their soils and they're composting and building life within the soil, microbial life. So you've got healthy soils, you get healthy plants that are naturally more resistant to pests and produce high quality produce with more flavour and more nutritional value, and that's where it's at.
You have to try the difference. Even if you have never tried organic, you just have to come in here and have a look at what is on offer, because I think you guys will be totally amazed if you're not from the organic world. So that's just for me. Coming back to you though, Brent, I want to talk about how diverse your shop is, because you also have meat, of course you have your dairy and non-dairy side, water. You have lots of water, lots of fresh water, because as we know, chlorine obviously does kill our good bacteria. So, you know, and hence why there's been such a big focus on water today.
Well, I think for any business, it's all about diversity, you know, and we've just simply tried to replicate nature in some way, you know, like the most stable systems are biodiverse systems, and I think the most stable businesses are diverse as well. So that's why we have such a range of products, and that's why we operate in such a range of markets as well. I mean, we have the store, we've always done home deliveries into Newcastle, Lake Bay, Hunter Valley.
So people can order online?
Order online and get
Awesome.
delivery the next day.
Yep.
So I guess what we're trying to work on is not just the dietary intake and the skin products and the like in terms of a healthy lifestyle, but it's also here how you think and how you feel as well is such a big part of being well, and hence the inner health centre and then the cafe, you know, so we have so much, you know.
Tell me, what hours are you open here?
We are open, 7 days a week.
Yes.
The cafe is open from 8 a.m. through to 3 p.m. and the store is open from 9 till 5:30 Monday to Friday and 9 till 3 p.m. on the weekends. And we're also at Newcastle City Farmers Market at Broadmeadow every Sunday, and home delivery to most of the valley and the Central Coast
Wow.
Wednesdays and Fridays.
Awesome. Well, that's amazing. They're big weeks for
We've
you.
tried to make it as easy as possible to eat organic.
Yes, awesome. Well, look guys, you know where to come. Thank you so much again.
That's my pleasure, thank you.